Hi there, welcome to Sunnyside Journals. I'm Catherine with another What's on My Desk today. If you hear some yelling in the background, it's probably because my husband doesn't realize that I'm up here and got the camera going. That's okay. So you might hear me yell, I'm taping! But any of you who make these kind of videos know exactly what I'm talking about. So I got started last night and I have the holes done in some of the signatures. This is a little thing I do. It just helps ensure that the holes stay where I want them to until I'm ready to start sewing. So it's just a little thing I do. I just find that sometimes those papers want to shift on you, even when you use those bulldoggy kind of clips, like this kind, very popular to use. I don't like them. And papers can still shift even with those. I find that they actually hold a little too tight. Sometimes you need to be able to wiggle your needle through your papers, and sometimes that kind, for me, still hold a little too tight. So now again, experienced signature pokers. Is that a term? What are you doing now? Well, I'm a signature poker. You might hold your breath and go, oh my God, Catherine, what are you doing? This is for me. I was looking for my all. Oh my goodness. For me, this is how I do it. This is how I like doing it. And of course, now I can't find my, oh, there it is right there, my template. So this is how I poke my signatures in. I prefer big flat paper clips. And then I make sure I've got my papers all nice and tight together. And then that's how I put my papers in. Move my paper clip over. And then that's how I do mine. So, you know what? Tomatoes, tomatoes. And then I poke it through that way. I hold it still. I get a corsage pin and I stick it through to hold it in place. And then I go through and do the rest. I've tried cradles. I've tried the yellow pages. I've tried straight out flat. And for me, I like this the best. So, I encourage you all, find what works for you. Take a little bit from everybody, because everyone's different. There we go. And you'll get your groove going. All right, I hope I'm centered. Not bad. So then, again, just check. Make sure, oh, there's our knight in shining armor. And Hakim. And I'm just making sure that my papers are where I want them to be. Because sometimes I have short ones in. This one doesn't have any short ones. And I like to make sure that my short ones are where I want them to be. Because sometimes I want them centered, sometimes I want them top, sometimes I want them bottom. So never presume. I always take one last look. There we go. Yeah, where's my top? There's my top. There's my top. There we go. Right. I line it up on the line. Poke my hole. This is just a gardener's kneeling pad that I got at my local dollar store. It's my favorite surface for poking. I sealed the cover, that beautiful cover. Some of the paint was trying to chip off. It's old. There's no date inside it, but from what I've been able to garner by Googling, its age is somewhere between the 1890s and the 1920s. So that's an old baby. And so here's one where I want that little half page down lower. Although I think I want it against something so it shows up better. I think I want to move it. I think I want it here. No. Maybe I want the blue page moved. Anyhow, yeah, the paint on the cover, which is so gorgeous, all those golds and blacks and whites against that blue are glorious. I wonder if I want it like that. I wish this was a little bit longer. Let me see what paper I've got. And so I felt it needed to be sealed. No, that's not long. I'm in the mood for a longer one. Are you longer? You're not longer. I'm sorry. I'm looking through all my offcuts here to see if I have anything longer. I just felt like something fun. You know that? Maybe you'd be fun. You'd be a little more fun than you. All right, so I'm going to put blue guy. You're going back where you were. And then you are going here. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Anyhow, so I sealed it. It's downstairs drying. I set up a little corner in my laundry room. Normally, if I need to use a sealant, I like to do it outside. But I'm using a new one this time. And I wasn't sure what the fumes would be like. And it's snowing up here where I am here on the North Shore of beautiful Lake Ontario. And I'm not going outside to seal a book cover. So I made a little corner and taped the walls with papers. And I couldn't find a box big enough. I used to have a big spray paint box, I call it. And it got to the point where it had seen better days. And yeah, that's good. And so obviously at some point I pitched it, and now here I was needing it and no box in the house to be found. So I made myself a little corner. I had shipping paper. Oh, there you are. I had shipping paper, so I made, oh, I'm going to stand up so I can see what I'm doing here. I had shipping paper and I made a little corner and I sprayed with the sealant, and yes, I was right. It was quite fumy, which is fine. But the nice thing, actually, that I liked about spraying it in my laundry room, which I'd never used before for spray painting, was my laundry room has a vent, you know, like over a shower, a stove hood. Or if you're in, your bathroom has one of those vents and you turn it on and it sucks everything out, all the air out. My laundry room has one of those. So I just turned that on and I sealed the cover. And yeah, so it's downstairs drying right now. And then I'll be able to, I've got my other parts ready to go. I'm just using tea-dyed cotton for this, the interior of this book. I didn't want a pattern fighting with this gorgeous paper, the end papers. So I wanted, and plus most of these papers are off-white, and I felt like that color would blend better. So that's what I'm doing this time. Usually one of the fun things for me is picking out the fabric for sewing the signatures into. And of course, it's just a silly thing, but those of you who get it will get it. That even if you can't see that pretty paper in there, I know that it's there and it makes me happy. Now, I've run out of my big, massive... That's how I know I've got a lot of signatures in this book. 9 signatures, because I have officially run out of my gigantic paper clips. One of these days, in one of my thrift stores, I will find some more. My Crafty Crush gave me some of those big ones, the silver ones, and then I found those mauve ones the other day, happily. But I'm going to have to keep an eye out for the rest. There we go. All right. Oh, I'm going to stand up again. Hold on. There we go. Cold and damp up here today. We had a whole bunch of little grandbabies over this morning. 4 granddaughters over this morning. Because it's their papa's birthday tomorrow. So they wanted to come over and give him hugs and kisses and presents. And, yeah, it was lovely for him to have his grandchildren come and wish him a happy birthday. So that was nice. And they brought a little cake and they helped him blow out his candles. They were very excited to wish their papa a happy birthday. There we go. So that was nice. They're lovely little girls. They get along good together. There we go. All right, now I'm not going to sew these in on camera because sometimes that can be futile. It's an exercise in frustration. So I will be sewing those off camera a little bit later. Okay, but I wanted to, let me get my little, there's my little can, into the can. And I found some pictures that I want to use to make some journaling cards. This book has got gorgeous illustrations. If you ever see it at any of your thrift stores, boy, grab it. It was written by Julie Andrews, who is, you know, The Hills Are Alive, that Julie Andrews. She wrote it. And it has beautiful illustrations. And in the illustrations, there's lots of castles. Oh, and look, the boy got the girl at the end. They fall in love. Very nice. Anyhow, so I want to look through it, find some castles, find some chivalry. Oh, there he's serenading the young ladies. So I'm going to take a look through here, find some illustrations. I'll even use, there's these teeny tiny little illustrations here on the end papers. And I like making, using little circles with this thing, my 1-inch circle punch, for tucking corners in. And those will be perfect for making little circles. Anyhow, so I'm going to look through that. I found some illustrations here from an old treasure chest book that I actually have halfway started into a journal. There's lots of knights in shining armor and jousting and all that sort of stuff. And then I know I saw some inside this book, my book house. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? I like that. I wonder if I should just steal that end paper out of this book. I'm not sure I will ever use this cover as a junk journal. it's whoever the previous owner has tried to draw on it, and there's holes and gouges. I'm not sure. I think it's 60s. It looks 60s to me. Oh, 71. So it's not that old. Boy, this could make a few, because look, there's a dragon. There's a castle and a ship. Oh, there's a knight. I could use a few of those. You know what? I don't know if any of you are going right now yelling at your screen, Catherine, don't do it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Look away. The first cut is the deepest. Here we go. I want you. Okay. Come on. There we go. All right. Now, I just want to look in here and see. Is the back one already gone? I already used the back one on something. Okay, that's pretty funny. Unless that's you. What's this? Oh, me. Oh, I already... Oh, that's why I put that in there. Because I want this dragon. Boy. This is so tightly... How did you find... Oh, you're that kind. All right. This isn't your regularly sewn signature. I don't like these kind. That's why you're stapled together. Look at that. There's great big huge staples there. All right, so I am not going... Now I've lost the page. Oh, well. Oh, it was with the Jack the Giant Killer. There, I want that page. But I want as much of it as I can get. So I'm going to come at it from the other side and see if I can cut through on that side. I hope this makes sense to you. I'm concentrating, so I'll explain it after I'm done. There we go. And that's the page I want. Ah, good, we did it. This is what I was worried about, this edge of this picture, and I got it. I don't think I want this one. He had to cut his head off. Not so nice. Well, I mean, it had to be done, but you know what I mean. Let's see if there's any more castles or anything in here. I want the castles. It's pretty. Oh, that's kind of big. And I'm not sure I want too much orange in this book. Not a big fan of the orange. It's a 70s book though, right? Orange was big then. Gosh, I remember the first kitchen phone that I ever had in my very first, my own kitchen. I wanted an orange phone. That phone was tangerine orange. I loved it. But now I think, what was I thinking? The Strong Boy, A Canadian Tale. Oh. Wizard of Oz. Come on, you must have some more. Pretty. I will make use of the rest of these illustrations in something else. Pretty. Oh, Sleeping Beauty. Okay, well, you know what? That's not bad. I got a few out of that one. Put this out of the way. All right, where are you, Julie Andrews? Oh, and there's one more book I want to look through. I want this. you. That's what I wanted. I wanted one of these castles and one of these musical instruments. Scissors. There we go. Oh, shoot. You see what I did? I cut through the second page. Well, let's cross our fingers that it wasn't something that I had my heart set on. No, not too bad. I got some dandelion weeds. All right, Catherine, watch what you're doing. Don't be so quick. You might wonder why I'm not cutting the signature threads and taking it apart that way. And the only reason I'm not doing it is because that's a lot of work, and I won't ever use pages this size or this glossy for an entire signature, so I don't care to worry about that fold. I don't want to save it. It doesn't matter to me. I like her. I'm gonna think about it. Oh, I wanted that. I want that castle up there. Excellent. I'm going to take the whole thing. I want you. This is all illustrations for journaling cards. So I'm just bringing you along for the ride with me. Those drums, I like the drum. I think I want a drum. So I'm just bringing you with me while I pick. Oh, there's a little castle right there. Okay, get that castle. And then I'll be making journaling cards probably in the next episode. This is just a time waster. Hopefully you've got your feet up and you're having a cup of tea and you just want a little break. There's a castle on a hill, and I like that one too. Anything? No, see, I'm not interested in that illustration, so I don't mind cutting this up. And I'm not sure I will use you, Simeon, although you're singing very lovely, I'm sure. But I want the castle. So by keeping the signature threads intact, it keeps the book all together so that next time I'm thinking, hold on, I remember an illustration in that Julie Andrews book. It'll still all be together and it won't be lost somewhere in my room here. Oh, there's lots of drums. I'll have to remember that. So if I ever, oh, there's the drum. Sorry if that was under. I'll have to remember that if I ever put something together for, oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. Emma Walton Hamilton is actually Julie Andrews' daughter. So they wrote the book and this gentleman did the illustrations. Very interesting. And I bet I can listen to Ms. Andrews narrate the story. And I bet, okay, see here, see the illustrator? Distinguished looking white-haired gentleman with a full beard. Now look over here in the woods and that gentleman leaning against the tree there. This is a cute little thing that a lot of illustrators do. I've illustrated a couple of books in my lifetime. It was fun. It's hard work, very, very hard work. And but a fun thing that illustrators like to do is sneak little illustrations into their illustrations that really only they and their friends and family know actually mean something in the book. I've taken courses with some certainly famous Canadian illustrators, and actually American people might well, worldwide people might recognize some of the illustrators. Michael Marchenko, he does a lot of Bob Munch's books. Oh, hold on, my husband's yelling. Yeah, that was my sweetie yelling. Anyhow, an illustrator, Michael Marchenko, Ruth Ohai, Katie McDonald Denton, quite a few Canadian children's picture book illustrators I've had the great good fortune of taking courses with at Seneca College out in Oakville. Seneca is very, very famous. A lot of Disney illustrators come out of Seneca. Disney loves our Seneca College out there. Anyhow, it's just a sneaky little thing that illustrators like to do. So that you can see right there, that's him. One book that I illustrated, I put my dog in. I had a border collie, a black and white border collie named Bingo, and I put Bingo. Every once in a while you see a dog romping through the park in a few of the paintings, and it's Bingo. All right, so Phoebe Gilman. That's how I was trying to think. She's an author illustrator. She wrote a famous children's book called The Balloon Tree. And in The Balloon Tree, the king is actually her husband, and the little princess is her daughter that she used to do her illustrations. I'm going to sneeze. Pardon me. Sorry. Anyhow, there's your little Catherine. I really didn't need to know that lesson for the day. But I'm telling you, you're never going to shut up the homeschooling mom in me. Even though my kids are grown adults and off doing their own grown adult thing. I'm a homeschooling mom. All right, I am going to get to work and tidy these up and get them ready to decide how I'm going to make journaling spots out of them. Oh, look at that wizard with his pet dragon. And the lady, the damsel in distress, looks like she's fainting. She needs some smelling salts. All right, I'm going to get going because my husband's going to walk back in the door and start yelling again. I'm home! And then I'm going to have to yell, I'm taping! Have a great day, everyone. We'll talk soon. Bye.